So recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with a couple of my buddies and favorite tech YouTubers, Erick from ErockonTech and Kyle from TechWando. We've covered a ton of exciting topics happening in the PC gaming and tech space, everything from Battlefield 6, the current state of the GPU market, and where this industry is headed towards next. This particular segment focuses on the rise of the handheld gaming market, devices like the Steam Deck, the ASUS ROG Ally, and MSI Claw, and why so many of us believe that this hybrid platform could actually become the future for PC gaming. Handhelds aren't really just a side experiment anymore, they're becoming powerful enough to play full AAA games from start to finish. They're offering something that's accessible, portable, and also very importantly, it just works out of the box. I genuinely think that this shift has the potential to change how people game, maybe even overtaking the traditional desktop setup in the years ahead. SteamOS, Microsoft's potential with the Xbox Windows OS, and even the Switch 2 all play a role in this bigger picture here, and we dig into all of that in this conversation. I'll have links to both Erick's and Kyle's channels down below in the video description, and I highly recommend checking them out and also subscribing to them if you are interested in this type of content. They're both making excellent stuff, and I think you guys will enjoy the channels that they have. You'll find the Battlefield 6 discussion on Erick's channel, and I believe TechWando will have the full podcast uploaded to his channel in the near future. With all of that said, let's roll with the segment.
I know we're running long, but I guess to finish up, because probably don't have a lot of time to go like really deep on handhelds, but talking about is the magic gone, handhelds might be the answer to that problem.
I look at the future.
Yeah, because if you start getting into the handheld market, like look at the Steam Deck and what that was able to do. And then everybody else is starting to hop on board and do the same thing. Now we got multiple handhelds and you're like, oh man, wow. Like before battery life was 5 hours, but now battery life is 8 hours or whatever, right? That's stuff you can start to get excited about again, because, you know, if I get a GPU and it takes me from 200 FPS to 240 FPS, it's a bump, but how much does that impact your gaming experience? Up for debate. But if you're in the mobile market or the handheld market and you're trying to play a game on the go, and you only have 5 hours of battery life, but now the next generation is giving you, let's say, 10 hours of battery life. That is double the length. That is a tangible and very much noticeable difference to your gaming experience. Yeah, and that could be something that feels like magic again.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I actually didn't even think of it like that. But yeah, if you're going from like 40 FPS on a Steam Deck on like Cyberpunk, and then you get the newest, let's say the newest ROG Xbox collaboration there, gets like 65, 70 FPS.
Yeah,
that's pretty good, because now you're like, whoa, all right, I'm actually feeling good about this. Like, yeah, that's cool. Good thought.
No, I do see that definitely as the future, because I think it goes back to what we were saying about, like, you know, prices increasing and everything, and just desktop PCs, I feel like maybe just becoming inaccessible at that point, or just the advancements are not there. So, and you know what it comes down to? It just ultimately comes down to people just want to play their games and have a good playable experience, right? And I think that you can say that for the vast majority of consumers out there, right? Like, you know, we are enthusiasts. We're going to talk about 240 hertz, FPS, whatever. But most people, they're going to be like, just give me something to play my game on. Just let me have a playable, stable experience and just let me enjoy it. So I think the handhelds are really going to start to take over. And because like they're pretty advanced now when you look at them, right? Like you can take like the MSI Claw or the ASUS ROG Ally and just be able to play a full AAA game, play Cyberpunk on it from start to finish, and have a enjoyable experience, right? Like, I mean, we talk about graphics and visual fidelity and all of that, but you know, once you start to get past that, right, and actually enjoy the game for what it is, and just, you know, immerse yourself with the gameplay and the story, I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. So if you can give them a machine that does that, that's accessible for them, right? Obviously, handhelds, I think it's still an early market, because, you know, saying, you know, everyone can buy a $899 handheld is, you know, it's not really
it's
feasible.
Expensive for sure.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why the Switch 2 is still doing so well, because even though it's a big price bump from the last version, it's still one of the most accessible handhelds that are out there.
Yeah, that's very true.
And
very
you can play games like, you know, Mario Kart World, or, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, and just have a really fun, solid experience. And that's really ultimately what it comes down to at the end of the day. And the whole aspect of it just works. I think that's one of the reasons, that what got me excited about the Xbox Ally's just the experience of the Windows OS, right? Because we talk about, people having to get a little bit of that know-how on how to tweak and optimize their PCs and getting around Windows or secure boot. Did you optimize this properly in your BIOS? Whereas, you give them a machine that's like a Windows Xbox, and it's like all that work is done for you. That groundwork that's done. Don't worry. Here's your system. Just log in, download your games, hit the play button, you're good, and you're going to get a fantastic experience. So you can deliver that to the consumer. It's really going to go big, and I mean, it's an all-in-one system, right? So even though it might have that big upfront cost, like you have the controllers on the device itself. There's a screen attached on it itself, and the screens are pretty decent too, right? The MSI Claw, it's 120 hertz, like that's still darn smooth for most people.
Oh, it's
right?
good.
It's very smooth. And it's just like I was trying out on my friend's MSI Claw. I was playing Kingdom Come 2, and I was like, I mean, I could chill back and play this game from start to finish because I love that game so much. And I eventually just forget about the whole, this tree doesn't look right, or that last video I made about like the ultra settings and people obsessing over max settings and stuff, and then complaining the game's off. It's like you got to step back and just look at the game itself, and high settings, medium setting, it's totally fine. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, are you counting grass blades? It's like, you might as well just go download the Unreal Engine developer tool and just mess around with that if all you care is counting pebbles and rocks and stuff like that, right? It's
funny,
pretty funny.
It's funny that you say that about that, because I always see, so I don't want to go back to the other topic there, but the whole entire GPU market now is funny in this way that, like, I don't know if you remember, like, growing up, it was like MTV Cribs and like Pimp My Ride and all that stuff, right? It's like we watched people to watch their rich lifestyles be the best of the best of the best. That kind of energy has shifted because of today's environment and like people's earnings and money and like what they can do with their money. And talking about these really expensive handhelds and things like that just reminds me, it's like the memes about having a 5090. There's like this little pool of people being like, we don't care that you have that, like, get out of here. But I guess what I'm like bringing that back around to is that at some point the handheld market, like just the accessibility, and there's also the Switch. Everyone's crapping on the Switch too. I understand a lot of the reasons why, but also like it's an Ampere GPU in there, giving you upscaling for like really pretty good pricing in comparison to other stuff. And it's like, saying that is like offensive to the PC group, because it's like,
it is, but
like
out of
it's
touch.
True though, it's a little bit true. It's like actually a pretty cool experience, and if you're going to use it, and like just like you said, Erock, on the handheld end, every time I use my Switch, which I don't use as much anymore because I have the Steam Deck, but like it's with my kid or my friends or family, we're playing games on the TV, and like it's a blast. You forget about the graphics, you forget about and like the Switch, by the way, it's long. The original Switch is old at this point. It's hard to forget about the graphics sometimes. You're like, this is really bad. But with the Switch 2, and then like a lot of the modern stuff coming out, it's like it is really to the point where it's so good that I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's gonna come down to them, like the hardware, the speed. I think it's all of it's there. I mean, bring the improvements on. I'm all for it, because like games, they still are getting more demanding and stuff. But I think the goal is like they're gonna have to find 17 to 25 watts. I think that's really the sweet spot, and just optimize the battery life. Like just find a way for you to extract as much performance and aim for that 17 to 25 watt mark. And because like with the handheld devices, like one of their big advantages is like the accessibility and the fact that you can just play them anywhere, right? When I went to it's funny because like when I went to Japan, and I actually saw a recent article about this, how the PC gaming, like traditional PC gaming, is actually shrinking in Japan. So when I went there and I checked out some of the PC hardware stores, they had sections where they had the ROG Ally and the Lenovo Legion Go and MSI Claw on display, and those sections there were crowded because those devices for that sort of demographic or that type of audience is just more accessible and just more usable and feasible for them, because they don't have to worry about, do I have to get a monitor now, build the actual desktop, get a mouse, keyboard, all of that. At the end of the day, they just want a game, and just buying that one single device, popping out of the box, pressing play on it, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Also, Japan has a very sophisticated train system, and so they do a lot of traveling. So when you're on the train, you can easily play that.
That's the only free time some people get there.
Yeah, which is totally awesome. But yeah, I mean, going back to the ROG Ally Xbox, whatever the name's gonna be, even if like I can't get a copy of that from ASUS, which I don't think I can, because the people I deal with are not part of that team. That team is their mobile division, and
I've been trying to get a Claw as well in the same situation here.
I don't have any contacts over there, so if I have to buy it, I probably will if it turns out to be what we want it to be. But I'm super freaking excited about that because back when I was on console, I was an Xbox guy, and so but more so than anything, the fact that they said that their Xbox team and their Windows team was working together for the first time ever is what they said. And so they're really trying to dial it in. Like, you know, Windows team is like, okay, what can we strip down to appease you guys, but still make sure it's operational. So yeah, if that can prove to be a success and then we inevitably find a way to port that over to desktop as an OS for people to use, dude, that could be a freaking game changer.
I would love that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple of friends. I got a couple of friends who have texted me about that. Like, hey, what do you think? Do you think this could ever come to, I'm like, I hope so. That would be phenomenal. So I'm super excited about it. I am. But I don't really have anything else. Did you guys have any other closing remarks or anything you wanted to say on
my closing remark is that $500 with Hall effect sticks. That's the important thing, I think.
Hall effects is huge. Yeah. Hall effects is pretty
because big. I don't know if the Ally has the new Ally has Hall effects, but they really should.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hall effects should just be standard. It should just be standard. Manufacturers should just tell people, hey, we don't offer anything except Hall effects now. So
I feel like there's just no excuse. I don't know how much more expensive they are than just regular membrane tech, but like I was kind of disappointed when I saw that the Switch 2 that is just uses regular membrane
like $2
tech
or something.
Yeah. It's worth it, man.
With the amount of RMAs and warranty stuff that they might have to deal with, right? I don't know. Maybe they're at that size that they can handle that volume. So I'm not sure about Nintendo, right? They're gigantic, but I think like I welcome the competition, especially like SteamOS. Like I think. You know, people are overlooking the importance of that because I think it's lit a big fire under Microsoft's ass, and I think that's what kind of prompted them to be like, all right, let's try to find a way to get our foothold in this, and maybe that's why they looked at a solution like the ROG Ally because they're like, hey, you know, they've got the hardware and they've kind of got that ecosystem going, and maybe we can collaborate with our Xbox team and really bring that streamlined experience to people because that's one of the reasons why you guys see my testing videos where I'm like, I'm testing on a Windows 11 IoT Enterprise copy. Like that's using custom scripts and completely debloated because I'm just so sick and tired of seeing that bloat on Windows that comes these days. Yeah. There's so much crap installed. So I mean, if they can also deliver that experience to people, right? That without bloat. Because SteamOS, like there's a lot of games now on Linux and SteamOS that are running better than Windows, and I think Microsoft's taken notice of that, and they see that as a pretty big threat.
Yeah. I think I honestly, on that note, I think if the anti-cheat stuff could be resolved on Linux, I think it would probably be game over for a lot of people. I think pretty much every gamer would at that point switch over primarily to Linux. I actually converted that Fractal Terra into a Steam box. I was debating making a video on it. And I played around with it. And I mean, it's good for what it is. I mean, obviously I couldn't play the Battlefield 6 beta. Yeah, there's limitations. I couldn't play the Battlefield 6 beta on it, and I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm gonna go back to Windows and play that. But Halo Master Chief Collection fired right up. There's pros and cons there. But anyway, well, guys, I appreciate it. We ran way over, so much for that.
That's fine. Lots of editing.
If you guys found this video to be informative and entertaining, then leave a like. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to check out the video description for cool links and ways to support the channel, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.